So we'll take a look at chapter 8, triangles. Coming to geometry part, chapter 8, triangles. So we'll recall certain laws of triangles. That is, if two angles are complementary, that is, two angles are said to be complementary, angle A and angle B. These are complementary when angle A plus angle B equals 90 degree, which is this. If the sum of their angles is 90 degree, then A and B are considered as complementary angles. If their sum is 90 degree. Similarly, A and B are considered as supplementary angles if their sum is 180 degree. If their sum is 180 degree, then they are considered as supplementary angles. A and B are considered complementary if their sum is 90 degree. Complementary angles. A and B are considered supplementary angles if their sum is 180 degree. Now we'll take also A and B are linear pairs. A and B are also called linear pair of angles, a linear pair of angles, because their opposite, the non-common arm, this is the common arm of the angles, the non-common arm are opposite to each other and make an angle of 180 degree with each other. Therefore A and B are also called linear pair of angles. Always remember, the sum of linear pair of angles is equal to 180 degree. Now always remember this thing, no matter how many angles are there, this is angle A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E. No matter, the sum of all the angles, no matter how many angles are there, the sum of all the angles on the same side of a line at a given point is 180 degree. The sum of all these angles, angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D plus angle E, these are on the same side of the line. This is the line, and these are on the same side of the line. Their sum is equal to 180 degree. Suppose two lines intersect. Another point to remember, suppose two lines intersect, then their vertically opposite angles are equal to each other. Angle A equals angle B. These are the two lines which intersect, therefore their vertically opposite angles are equal. Angle A equals angle B, angle C equals angle D. Angle A equals angle B, angle C equals angle D, because these are vertically opposite angles. Also we'll see a converse theorem regarding this one. If the sum of the adjacent angle, if this is given, angle A plus angle B is 180 degree, then the non-common arms are in a straight line. We have seen this theorem as, if the non-common arms are in a straight line, the sum of the angles is 180 degree. And the converse of this becomes, if the sum of the angles is 180 degree, the non-common arms are in a straight line. So these are some of the earlier theorems which we have studied in earlier classes. So just a revision. Now coming to triangles. Some laws regarding triangles. Angle A, angle B, angle C. The sum, we have to remember the sum of all the three angles of a triangle equals 180 degree. This is the first law and the main law which governs properties of triangles. That is, the sum of all the angles of a triangle equals 180 degree. Suppose their second law of triangle, this is the triangle ABC. The side BC is extended to point D. Side BC gets extended to point D. Therefore, the exterior angle ACD becomes equal to the sum of the interior opposite angles. Suppose exterior angle is angle 1, angle 2. These are the interior opposite angles. Angle 1 equals angle 2 plus angle 3. The exterior angle equals to sum of interior opposite angles. Therefore, from this theorem only we can derive that the exterior angle is always greater than either of the interior opposite angles, because the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the interior opposite angles. Therefore, the exterior angle is always greater than either of any of the interior opposite angles. And in a quadrilateral, theorem 3, in a quadrilateral, the sum of all the angles equals 360 degree. This is a quadrilateral. Angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D. A plus B plus C plus D angle equals 360 degree. In a quadrilateral, the sum of all the angles equals 360 degree. Now we'll take a look at types of triangles. There are three types of triangles basically based on their sides. One is scalene triangle. That is, all the three sides are unequal in length, unequal to each other. That is a scalene triangle. All sides unequal. Then comes the isosceles triangle. That is, two sides are equal. These two sides are equal. That is isosceles triangle. And the third triangle is equilateral triangle. All the three sides are equal. All the three sides are equal. Equilateral triangle. And in equilateral triangle, the angles are also 60 degree. All angles are 60 degree, and all the sides are equal. That is the equilateral triangle. So there are three types of triangles. One is scalene triangle, all the sides are unequal. Isosceles triangle, two sides are equal. Equilateral triangle, all the three sides are equal. And by angles, there are also three types of triangles based on angles. That is, if all the angles of a triangle are acute, suppose this is a triangle, all the angles are acute angled, then it is called an acute angle triangle. If now in a triangle, if one of the angle is an obtuse angle, any one of the angle is an obtuse angle. First we have seen acute angle triangle, all the angles need to be acute. For acute angle triangle, all the angles need to be acute. All the angles should be less than 90 degree. Now in obtuse angle triangle, any one of the angle, if it is greater than 90 degree, that is obtuse. So that triangle becomes an obtuse angle triangle. And you all know there is a right angle triangle. One angle is another third type of triangle based on angle is right angle triangle. One angle is 90°. That is called a right angle triangle. Now coming to perimeter. What is the perimeter of a triangle? Perimeter is nothing but the sum of the three sides of the triangle. A plus B plus C is the perimeter. A plus B plus C is the perimeter of a triangle. A, B, C are sides of the triangle, then the sum of the sides becomes the perimeter. Now coming to median. What is a median? A line which joins a vertex of a triangle to the midpoint of another side is called a median of a triangle. Suppose there is triangle ABC and the midpoint of BC is D. Line joining A to D is the median of a triangle. MEDIAN, median. Now also when three medians of a triangle intersect, they intersect in the ratio 2:1. Always remember, all the medians intersect in the ratio 2:1. And what is an altitude of a triangle? This is the altitude of a triangle which joins from one vertex to the other side and is perpendicular to the other side. Altitude of a triangle joins the vertex of a triangle and is perpendicular to the opposite side of a triangle. That is the altitude. And always remember, the point of intersection of the medians is called the centroid. If three medians intersect, then the point of intersection of the medians is called the centroid, and the point of intersection of three altitudes of a triangle is known as the orthocenter of the triangle. Orthocenter, centroid and orthocenter. Okay. Now we'll see congruency of triangles. Congruency of triangles. So there are basically four axioms of congruency of triangle. Four theories of congruency of triangles, which are: number one, the side angle side or SAS axiom. Side angle side means any two sides of the triangle, and the included angle of that triangle is congruent to other two sides of the triangle and the included angle of a triangle. SAS axiom can be done like that. Suppose ABC is one triangle and DEF is another triangle. So any two sides, AB equals DE, AC equals DF, and angle A equals angle D, then based on SAS axiom, the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Triangle ABC is congruent, sign is this, to triangle DEF. When two sides of triangle, that is AB side is equal to DE side, AC side equals to DF side, and the two angles AD, angle A and angle D, are equal. AB side equals DE side, AC side equals DF side, and angle D equals angle F. The included angle of the two sides equals to the included angle of the other two sides of the other triangle. Then triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Now coming to the second congruency axiom, that is the AAS axiom, angle angle side axiom. That is, two angles of a triangle and the included side will see it like this. two angles suppose angle A and equals angle D. Based on AAS axiom, we are seeing the angle angle side axiom. Angle A equals angle D, angle B equals angle E, suppose, and any of the sides, suppose AB equals DE. Therefore angle A equals angle D, angle B equals angle D, and AB equals DE. Therefore AAS angle angle side axiom, both triangles are congruent. It can be any side. Suppose it is not necessary that the included side of the two angles, the side including the two angles only needs to be equal. It can be BC also, it can be AC also. BC equals EF or AC equals DF, like that also. Now coming to the third axiom, that is SSS axiom, that is side axiom. In this, all the three sides of one triangle needs to be equal to the three sides of other triangle. That is AB equals DE, BC equals EF, AC equals DF. If this happens, then based on side axiom, the two triangles are congruent to each other. So we have seen, till now we have seen there are three types of axioms. SAS axiom, side angle side axiom. In this axiom, we have to notify that the two sides of a triangle AB and AC and their included angle should be equal to other two sides of the triangle and the included angle. That is AB equals DE, AC equals DF, and angle A equals angle D. Then based on SAS axiom, the two triangles are congruent. AAS axiom, two angles of a triangle, angle angle side axiom, two angles of a triangle and any of the side, angle A and angle B, is equal to angle A equals angle D, angle B equals angle E, and any of the side, suppose AC equals DF. Then based on AAS axiom, the triangles are congruent. SSS axiom, side axiom, based on the third axiom, the three sides of one triangle needs to be equal to the three sides of other triangle, corresponding three sides of other triangle. That is AB equals DE, BC equals EF, and AC equals DF. Therefore based on SSS axiom, the two triangles are congruent. Last congruency axiom we'll see is the RHS axiom, that is right angle hypotenuse side axiom. It is only for right angle triangles. This axiom is basically for right angle triangles only and not any other triangle. We'll just see what is it. In that, suppose there are two right angle triangles. We are taking two right angle triangles. For RHS axiom, the right angle of two triangles, the hypotenuse, H for hypotenuse of two triangles, and any one side of two triangles should be equal. If this criteria is met, then the RHS, based on RHS axiom, the two triangles are congruent to each other. So RHS axiom is for right angle triangles only. R for right angle, H for hypotenuse, S for any one side. So based on RHS axiom, the right angle of two triangles, there should be a right angle for both triangles. The hypotenuse should be equal, the opposite side of the right angles. The hypotenuse of both the triangles should be equal, and any one side should be equal. If this criteria is met, then based on RHS axiom, the two triangles are congruent. Hope till now it is clear. After this, we'll take a look at some examples based on theories of triangle. Hello, now coming to some problems regarding triangles. So in this example, suppose we take this problem. There is a triangle ABC. OB is the internal bisector of angle B. OB is the internal bisector of angle B. OC is the internal bisector of angle C, and the internal bisectors meet at point O. We have OB is internal bisector of angle B. OB is internal bisector of angle B. OC, it is given, OC is internal bisector of angle C. And we have to show, to prove, OA is the internal bisector of angle A. Internal bisector of angle A. We have to prove this. So how do we do that? We have to take construction here, a construction here. Draw OE perpendicular to BC. OE is perpendicular to BC. OD is, take this as D. OD is perpendicular to BC. OE is perpendicular to AC, and OF is perpendicular to AB. Make this construction so that we are able to solve this problem. OD is perpendicular to BC, OE is perpendicular to AC, and OF is perpendicular to AB. So we know angle B and angle C are bisected. So now taking triangle ODC and triangle OEC, let's take these two triangles, triangle ODC and triangle OEC. So we'll take it here for triangle ODC based on RHS axiom. We'll see here. Here you can see angle ODC and angle OEC are perpendicular. So angle ODC equals angle OEC equals 90 degree. Angle OCD equals angle CEO. Since angle C is bisected, from the earlier part you know angle C is bisected, so angle OCD equals angle OCE. It is given, and OC equals OC, common side. Therefore, based on this is the hypotenuse, this is the right angle, these two are right angles, and these are, and this angle is bisected. Sorry, this is not RHS axiom, but this is angle side axiom, AAS axiom, or AAS axiom. Based on AAS axiom, we will take triangle ODC is congruent to triangle OEC. Similarly, we have taken it for the angle C. Now taking for angle now for CPCT, after proving from AS axiom triangle ODC is congruent to triangle OEC, congruent parts of concurrent triangles uh, no sorry corresponding parts of congruent triangles based on CPCT will take OD equals OE. OD equals OE. Similarly, for these two triangles we got OD equals OE. For similarly for these two triangles, by AAS axiom will prove that triangle OBD is congruent to triangle OBF. After proving OBD is congruent to triangle OBF, will based on CPCT corresponding parts of congruent triangles will take OD equals OF. So OD equals OE, OD equals OE for this part, and OD equals OF for that part, this angle B part. So we get OE equals OF. OE equals OF. Now we'll take these two triangles, angle AFO and angle AEO. Taking triangle AFO and triangle AEO, we will see that these two are right angles. Angle AEO is 90 degree, angle AFO 90 degree, those are equal 90 degree. AO is the common part which becomes the hypotenuse, so AO is common for both, and we have earlier proved that OE equals OF. Therefore, based on RHS axiom, we get triangle AFO is congruent to triangle AEO. Since now based on CPCT, we'll simply take, since these two triangles are congruent, angle OAF is equal to angle OAE. Angle OAF equals angle OAE. Therefore, angle A is bisected. Since these two angles are equal, therefore hence it is proved that OA is the bisector of angle A. I hope you got this problem. I'll just repeat it once again for your own convenience. I'll just repeat this problem once again. See, it was given that angle B, OB is the bisector of angle B and OC is the bisector of angle C. So first we have taken angle C. Let's take angle C. We have drawn OD, OE and OF perpendicular to the sides for our convenience, so that we are able to solve this problem. We have made a construction part here, OD, OE and OF perpendicular to the sides. So taking the angle C part and taking triangle ODC and triangle OEC, we have angle C, angle DCO equals angle ECO. It is given these two angles are 90 degree and OC side is common for both the triangles. So based on angle side axiom, these two triangles become congruent. So after proving the congruency of these two triangles based on corresponding parts of congruent triangles, that is CPCT we call it, we take OD equals OE. After proving the congruency, we take OD equals to OE. Similarly, after proving the congruency of these two triangles based on CPCT, we take OD equals OF. Now when OD equals OE and OD equals OF, automatically it becomes OE equals OF. After that, we'll take this section for these two triangles. This angle is these two angles are 90 degree. OA is the common side, and we have proved that OE equals OF. Alright, so based on RHS axiom now, taking the RHS axiom for these two triangles, right angle hypotenuse and side axiom for these two triangles, we prove that these two triangles are congruent. Angle AFO is congruent to triangle AEO. Now based on CPCT, we finally take this angle FAO is equal to angle OAE. Since these two angles are equal, it is automatically proved that this angle A is bisected by OA. Hence proved. I hope you got this problem. Let's take this another problem. Problem 2, problem 2. Suppose a rhombus is given. This is a rhombus. Sorry for drawing a bit irregular here. So sorry for that. This is a rhombus. A point O is taken inside a rhombus ABCD such that its distances from angular points D and B are equal. That is, it is given that point O is taken and OD equals OB. It is given. Now let's join AO and OC of the rhombus. So it is given that OD equals OB. We have to show that AO and OC are in the same straight line. We are, in other words, we have to show AOC is a straight line. We have to show simply that this AOC is a straight line, that is AO and OC are in a same straight line, where it is given that OD equals OB in a rhombus. So now for our convenience, we will take angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4. We will take this as angle 1, AOB as angle 1, AOD as angle 2, DOC as angle 3, and COB as angle 4. So we'll take all these angles. So now coming to how do we prove that AOC is a straight line. Now taking triangle AOB and triangle AOD, AOB and AOD, here taking triangle AOB and AOD, we have OA is the common side, OA equals OA, since it is a common side, OA equals OA. Now we have OB equals OD, OB equals OD, it is given. OA equals OA, OB equals OD, and AB equals AD. Since these are the sides of the rhombus, we know the all four sides of the rhombus are equal, so AB equals AD, sides of the rhombus. In triangle AOB and AOD, OA equals OA, this is the common side, OB equals OD, it is given, it was given in the problem, OB equals OD, and AB equals AD, these are the sides of the rhombus. So based on SSS axiom, triangles AOB and triangles AOD are congruent. Triangle AOB is congruent to triangle AOD. So after this we got angle 1 equals angle 2. Alright, we get angle 1 equals angle 2. Similarly, taking these two triangles now, angle BOC and angle DOC, we get based on SSS axiom again. These two triangles were proved congruent based on SSS axiom. Now we have to prove these two triangles are congruent based on SSS axiom. It will be easily proved because these two sides are equal. This is the common side and it was given in the problem that these two sides are equal. Therefore, based on SSS axiom, this triangle is congruent to this triangle. So based on CPCT, we again get angle 3 equals angle 4. Now we know that all angles surrounding a point O, their sum is 360 degree. Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 equals 360 degree, because all the angles are surrounding a given point and their sum is 360 degree. Since angle 1 equals angle 2, therefore angle 1 plus angle 2 becomes twice of angle 2. Angle 3 equals angle 4, therefore angle 3 plus angle 4 becomes twice of angle 3 equals 360 degree. So angle 2 plus angle 3 becomes 360 degree by 2 equals 180 degree. Angle 2 plus angle 3 becomes equal to 180 degree. Now since angle 2 plus angle 3 becomes equal to 180 degree, therefore we have seen in earlier theorem that when two angles on the same line, same side of the when two same side of a point are equal, then the their non-common arms lie on the same straight line. Therefore, since angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180 degree, which is proved here, angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180 degree. Therefore, OA and OC lie on the same straight line AOC. Hence, it is proved. We have to prove it like that. I hope you understood the problem. We'll see few more after a short while. Okay, so coming back to isosceles triangles. Isosceles triangles. Take a look at we'll take a look at few theorems of isosceles triangle. Theorem 1. Suppose theorem 1, we'll just take a look at the theorems. There is no proving part. Suppose ABC is an isosceles triangle with AB equals AC, then AB, then the opposite angles to the sides, the angle C opposite to angle AB and angle B opposite to angle AC. Since AB equal to AC, angle B equals angle C. This is the first theorem. AB equals AC, therefore angle B equals angle C. And we'll see theorem 2, which is the converse of theorem 1. That is, if angle B equals angle C, two angles are equal, then the opposite sides of the triangle are also equal. AB equals AC. So these theorems are very simple. AB equals AC, angle B equals angle C, and converse is angle B equals angle C, then AB equals AC. Now we'll take a look at an example. One example regarding isosceles triangle. This is a triangle. Okay. So we have triangle ABC with, it is given in the figure AD. It is given that ABC is an isosceles triangle, so AB equals AC. It is understood. It is given ABC is an isosceles triangle, so side AB equals side AC. And it is also given that, it is also given that BD equals EC. So we have to prove that ABE we have to prove that triangle BAE is congruent to triangle CAD. We have to prove. See, let's understand this once again. ABC is an isosceles triangle. Construction is made AD and AE, joining the with D and E lying on BC. It is given that BD equals EC. It is understood that AB equals AC since ABC is an isosceles triangle. We have to prove that triangle BAE is congruent to triangle CAD. So how do we do that? Now, since AB equals AC, it is very easy actually. Since AB equals AC, therefore angle B equals angle C. We have seen it in the previous theorems. Since AB in isosceles triangle, AB equals AC, angle B equals angle C. Here also the case is applicable. AB equals AC, angle B equals angle C. So we get AB equals AC. It is given. Therefore from that we get angle B equal angle C. Opposite, we write the reason opposite angles of isosceles triangle. Yeah, opposite angles of isosceles triangle. Now it is given that BD equals EC. BD equals EC. BD equals EC. If we see that DE is common for both, if we add DE both sides, BD equals EC. So adding DE, the side DE both sides, we get for BD plus DE becomes BE, BD plus DE becomes BE, and EC plus DE becomes CD. Therefore BE equals CD. We get it. Therefore AB equal AC, angle B equal angle C, BE equals CD. Therefore by side angle side axiom, triangle BAE is congruent to triangle CAD. Hence proved. I hope you are able to get this. It is very simple, this problem. Okay. Now we'll take a look at some inequality theorems of triangles. Inequalities theorems of triangles. Let's look at the first theorem of inequality. If two sides of a triangle are unequal, the greater side has the greater angle opposite to it. Suppose a triangle is there. This is the first theorem, inequality theorem. If two sides of a triangle are unequal, this side and this side are not equal, these are not equal, then the greater side has the greater angle opposite to it. Angle A, B, C are ABC is a triangle. Suppose BC is greater than AB. BC is greater than AB. Therefore it means that angle A is greater than angle C. Side AB has angle C opposite to it. Angle A is greater than angle C, which means the first theorem of inequality states that if two sides are unequal, the greater side has the greater angle opposite to it, which means if BC is greater than AB, therefore the angle opposite to angle A, angle opposite to BC, that is angle A, is greater than the angle opposite to angle C. The angle C is opposite to AB. The angle A is greater than angle C. The angle opposite to BC is greater than the angle opposite to AB, that is angle A is greater than angle C. And similarly, theorem 2 is converse of theorem 1, just the converse of theorem 1. That is, if two angle angle A is greater than angle C, therefore their opposite sides are also not equal. That is, angle A is greater than angle C. Here angle A is greater than angle C, side opposite to angle A is BC, therefore BC is greater than side opposite to angle C is AB, therefore BC is greater than AB. It is just the converse. Theorem 2 is just the converse of theorem 1. I hope you got that. Very important theorem, another one very important theorem, that is main theorem of inequality, that is the sum of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. That is, AB plus BC is always greater than AC, BC plus AC is always greater than AB, or AC plus AB is always greater than BC. The sum of any two sides of a triangle AB plus BC is always greater than the third side. That is the third theorem, and very important theorem which is needed to solve the problems. The sum of two sides of a triangle is always greater than the third side. The sum of any two sides of a triangle is always greater than the third side. And also remember, there is a fourth theorem of all straight lines that can be drawn to a given line from a point outside it. This is a point outside the straight line. Of all straight lines that can be drawn to a given line from a point outside it, the perpendicular is the shortest line. That is, A point, the line is BC. Here AB is less than AD, is less than AE, is less than AC. Here BC is the line, A is the point outside BC, BC is the line, I repeat, A is the point outside BC. Any number of lines drawn on BC from A, the perpendicular AB is the shortest path, the shortest path to BC from A. AB, here AB is less than AD, AD is less than AE, AE is less than AC. In fact, AC here is the greatest line, biggest line. AB less than AD, AD less than AE, E less than AC. These are the three theorems of inequalities. I repeat once again. First theorem goes like this. If two sides are unequal, the means that is AB, two sides are unequal means automatically one side has to be greater than the other side. So here BC is greater than AB, therefore the angle opposite BC, angle A, is greater than the angle opposite AB, angle A is greater than angle C. Theorem 2 is converse of theorem 1, that is, angle A is greater than angle C, it is given, therefore BC greater than AB. Theorem 3 goes like this. The sum of any two sides of a triangle is always greater than the third side. That is, here AB plus BC greater than AC I have taken, and it can be also like AB plus BC greater than AC, BC plus AC greater than AB, or AC plus BC, AC plus AB greater than BC. Any two sides is greater than the third side of a triangle. And the last theorem of inequality states that the perpendicular is the shortest distance from any point to a straight line, any point outside the straight line toward the straight line. Of all the lines drawn from that point to the straight line, the perpendicular is the shortest. AB is the shortest here. I hope you got the theorems of inequalities. We'll take a look at a problem now. Now, taking a problem, we'll solve a problem regarding inequality. Here we have to show that here ABC is a triangle, D, E, F are perpendicular altitudes in the triangle. We have to show that the sum of the three altitudes of a triangle is less than the sum of three sides of a triangle, that is AD plus BE plus CF is less than AB plus BC plus AC. We have to prove that AD plus BE plus CF, that is the sum of the altitudes of this triangle, is less than the sum of the three sides of the triangle. So how do we do that? We have seen the last theorem of inequality. Taking the last theorem of inequality, we'll solve by that. This problem we are solving by that theorem. Of all the lines drawn from a given point outside a straight line, the altitude is the shortest. So in BC, if BC is a straight line and A is a point outside BC, the altitude AD is the shortest. AB and AD are two lines drawn to BC from point A. AD is the shortest, so AD is less than AB. Yeah, similarly AC AD is less than AC. All right, AD is less than AB, AD is less than AB, and AC and AD is less than AC. You see, as I explained the last theorem, AD is the shortest of all the lines drawn from a point to BC. So AD is less than AB, AD is less than AC. So it becomes equation 1 and equation 2. Adding equations 1 and 2, we get AD plus AD becomes twice of AD less than AB plus AC. So twice of AD less than AB plus AC becomes third equation. Similarly, here taking another from point B to AC, the perpendicular is the shortest. So BE less than BC and BE less than AB, BE less than AC, BE less than BC, I'm sorry, BE less than BC and BE less than AB. So again we get twice of BE, adding these two, less than BC plus AB. So twice of BE less than BC plus AB. This is equation 4. This is equation 4. And again similarly we get twice of CF less than BC plus AC. This is equation 5. Now adding equations 3, 4, 5, I'll just for your convenience write the three equations again. Twice of AD, so that you are able to see that properly. AB plus AC, twice of BE, twice of AD, twice of BE less than BC plus AB. This is equation 3. This is equation 4. And twice of CF less than BC plus AC. This is equation 5. I hope you are able to see that. Twice we get twice of AD less than AB plus AC, twice of BE less than BC plus AB, twice of CF less than BC plus AC. Now adding equations 3, 4 and 5. If we add these three equations, we get twice of AD plus twice of BE plus twice of CF is less than twice of AB plus twice of BC plus twice of AC. So taking 2 common here, AD plus BE plus CF less than twice of AB plus BC plus AC. 2 cancels out, so AD plus BE plus CF less than AB plus BC plus AC. Hence proved that the we had to prove that the sum of the altitudes of a triangle is less than sum of 3 sides. So it is proved here. Sum of the altitudes AD, BE, CF is less than AB, BC, AC. Sum of the sum of the 3 sides. Thank you. I hope you understand the problem. Thank you.